Hola amigos, welcome back to the channel. My name is Uno and today we're going to be playing some more Rimworld. We're going to be starting a whole new playthrough where we're going to be playing as Scavvers, courtesy of a few awesome mods. Now before we get into the mod list, I'm going to go over a few of the rules for this scenario just so you guys can get an idea of what I had in mind for this run. Alright, rule number 1, no conventional crafting. This includes weapons and armor. We must get the bulk of our equipment from scavving defeated or dead enemies or pawns. With one exception, we're going to be using vanilla weapons expanded makeshift, where we can craft junk weapons using just components and a crafting spot. Should be pretty cool. Alright, rule number 2 is no food farming. Only textiles are allowed as they are needed for certain rituals and meal sheets. Also, because textile worksites can't be raided. Rule number 3, most of our resources must come from either raiding worksites, raiding settlements, or from foraging. This includes buying and selling. We can't just sell a bunch of stuff to buy the things we need. Rule number 4 is to be determined. Maybe we'll think of some new rules as we continue to play through. Maybe you guys in the comments will suggest something awesome. Who knows? We're just going to keep that door open for now. Okay, guys, moving right along to the mods. Most of this stuff we have here is pretty standard fare for those of us who play a lot of Rimworld. We're going to have a link to all of the mods in the description, so go check that out after the video. But what I really wanted to highlight here was vanilla weapons expanded makeshift. Now this mod is what's going to allow us to use and make the junk weapons from the crafting site, which we're probably going to be using for a bulk of the game. Any of the other weapons we're going to get our hands on will probably come through quests or, you know, just scavenging them from the dead bodies of our defeated enemies. We also have simple recycling, which is going to allow us to recycle some of the clothes that we're not wearing ourselves. So once we defeat our enemies, we'll either be using their clothes or we'll be recycling them, turning them back into textiles so we can use them for something else. Another mod I wanted to highlight is child apparel, which is here for one reason, and that's because it adds dusters for children into the game. Because for some strange reason, even in 1.5, they're not in vanilla. We also have a bunch of mods that expand our ideology options, and this is what allows us to make the Scavver religion. Beyond that, guys, everything here is pretty standard fare. Like I said, if you're interested in every single mod we're using in this playthrough, go check out the description in this video. We'll have a link there. All right, guys, after a little bit of work, we've come up with 3 decent colonists. I think, guys, we'll get the job done. So let's get started. We're going to go ahead and allow some stuff. We got to set up some priorities. I think we do have a bit of a weird one. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so Chris can't do firefighting. We all can do Hall Plus. You're a good talker. I'll take this off for you guys. Set that to 2. Handle, yes, because we're going to need it. And the cook. That's interesting. The person who handles the animals also handles the food. All right, so let's see. Construct, grow. What are we going to be growing? Probably cotton. What are we going to be constructing? Probably everything. All right, mining is going to go way down. Start it down to 4. Funny how you're doing everything. Smithing. Wow, you're doing everything. I guess crafting. What aren't you doing? And our researcher also is going to be the one doing the hauling. Okay, obviously we're not going to leave these priorities as they are. Just need to get started. We might move into this partially built building just to save some resources. All right, so what we're going to do probably is deconstruct some of this inert stuff so we can get some building materials. We're also going to want to get a research table down as soon as possible. Now, the thing about that is, what's cheaper? Should we spend 100 steel to build it, or should we spend 25 wood? Sorry, 25 steel and 75 wood. I think we have more steel than wood at this point. Yeah, we're going to need to build some beds. All right, so like I said, we're not going to be doing a lot of growing. We might need... What are we going to be growing? We're not going to be growing for any food. Okay, we have... So let's check the wildlife. We have a lion. I just saw him. He's a little scary. We're going to have to deal with this guy sooner rather than later. All right, what about food, guys? We just have our packaged survival meals, so let's get a hold on those. We can probably put a... storage zone there. We're also going to need a stone cutter's table. This is going to take more wood. Okay, now we're burning a lot of steel here, guys. So how much do we have on the map? 657, 1170. Okay, that should be more than enough. We're using 100 here, and we're using 105 here. That's not a problem. We're going to need a few things, like a table to eat on, which, of course, is going to be made of steel. Let's go for a smaller one. Here we go. So, essentially, you're going to be constructing and deconstructing. Someone's going to be hauling. What about our weapons? I kind of don't want to use these weapons, but I think we might have to, depending on how soon we can get our makeshift weapons down. Now, let's see. Do we have a doctor? Yes, we do. Okay, you're a doctor. And you're going to have self-tend. All right, everyone else is going to be on herbal medicines, but since we don't have herbal medicines... Oh, that's what we could be growing. Can we grow herbal meds? I don't know. It feels like it might be against the rules. I mean, now would be the time. I feel like if we wait too long, it's going to be too late and we're just going to die. But we're not going to do it. We're just going to see how everything plays out. All right, so we're doing some hauling. We should probably have a dumping zone as well, so we're not just putting everything in the stockpile zone. Let's see. We're going to want probably stones of all kinds. We're going to want some steel, which is steel and plasteel. What else do we want in here? Probably dead bodies, but we're not going to do that yet. All right, guys, somebody haul me. Oh, he's puking. Come on, Chris. I need you, buddy. Are you cleaning right now? All right, let's make sure we're turning on automatic rebuild and we're turning off auto home zone. All right, tech is puking too. I think something's going around. Cryo sleep sickness is a bitch. What can I say? All right, we need to get this stonecutter table built ASAP, my guy. Once we get that going, we're going to start cutting some rocks, filling in some of the holes in these walls. All right, one chair has been built. Can we get the other chair and the table built? All right, tech is working on it. Do we have only one guy who can construct? Essentially, yes, but I think tech, is he a fast learner? No, he's not. Damn it, that's problematic. All right, so over here, guys, in our vanilla expanded tab, we have makeshift weapons. We can assemble very crude makeshift weapons, prone to jamming and are very unreliable. That sounds amazing. We're going to do that immediately. While tech builds our stonecutter table. Now, I'm just trying to figure out, I think we do have some granite stones here. We may not start with granite, though. We may just start with some marble blocks. Let's go marble, because we're going to be filling in some of the holes in the walls and probably doing some other stuff at some point. So we're going to want marble. If we're going to be building walls, though, we're going to want granite. So let's just see how this goes. Right now, we're not dealing with a lot of dangerous wildlife. We have a rattlesnake down here, and we have a lion up here. Now, these predators, when they get hungry, they go on the attack. So he's pretty close, too. We may have to take him out, guys. Let's see, shooting. Okay, so we're looking pretty good in terms of skill. We can defend ourselves. So, who's wearing tech? I need you to take that off, please. Please stop wearing gear without me telling. He's got everything on, this guy. Take all the flak stuff off. That's going to go to our melee person. Chris. All right. You can wear that too, Chris. Tech, you can wear these pants. There you go, bud. And yep, the flak helmet. Thank you for doing that. All right, so Monahan is our best shooter, so she should probably get the bolt rifle. Maybe. All right, so that means Tech is getting the pistol, and you, Chris, you're getting the knife. Oh God, I hope we don't just die from starvation. Can we forage anything? I mean, I know that's a thing, but what are we going to forage? We need to get these meals ASAP. There's a bunch of steel on the map, which we're definitely going to need. Probably going to need to just deconstruct that ship chunk for components. This one as well. What's upsetting to me is we can't just build dusters, which is usually the first thing I do. All right, so let's go kill this lion because it's driving me crazy. Yeah, we're going to be using the weapons they gave us, but it should be fine. We are going to focus on the makeshift guns, so don't worry about that, guys. Well, for now, we got to deal with this guy. He's pretty scary looking. All right, let's slow it down. Oh, he's dead. Wow, who got him? Did you shoot his brain out, Monahan? I think she shot his brain out. Yep. Wow. Obliterated the lion's brain. Good job, girl. All right, go get the body, guys. Now, that is scavenge, so that is something we're going to be able to cut up and eat. We don't have a freezer yet. So we got a bit of a problem here. How are we going to do this? We can't... Oops, nope, we don't want that. Do we have a place to put bodies? What if we put it in here? Corpses, yes. Animal corpses, yes. Make sure they're fresh, not rotten. Need a table to cut and cook food. Once again, it's going to be made out of steel. You never know when you're going to need wood. And we're going to need an electric stove, probably. I know everything's going to get a penalty because it's outside. We can move it around later. We need a recreation spot. I think that's why everyone's wandering around out there. Let's put it here. Chris, are you my builder? Can you build recreation, please? No, you're not the builder. Is it tech? Tech. Okay, build that for me, tech. He's deconstructing this steel. Okay, that's cool. We do need the space. I want you to do this, though, tech. This needs to be done. All right, so we're getting... Okay, the lion's corpse is there. Getting nighttime, so... Wait, who's our researcher? Monahan is also our hauler. Sorry, Monahan. I'm going to take you off that. Tech's our builder. This is bad. We don't have someone to go around the map and just haul stuff, which is usually one of the first things I do in this game. All right, so we're going to need some sort of power. Put it here. Part of me wants to put it in the middle, so if someone comes to attack it, we can stop them. Let's build this down here. All right, we're going to need to research batteries at some point, but I really want to get into making makeshift weapons. Okay, guys, let's take a moment. I don't think we ever really got into our ideal religion, so we're just going to go through it a bit here. We have the pain is virtue meme, which kind of fits with us perfectly. That allows us to, you know, sleep on slab beds. I figured when we're out raiding, if we have to sleep on the ground or what have you, pain is virtue is not going to have our guys complaining too much about it. We have cannibalism, which speaks for itself. Scrapper is the cool one that comes as one of the extra added memes through one of the mods we added. Essentially, it means we love junk. We love being around junk. We don't mind wearing tattered apparel. What about tainted apparel? Yeah, we don't care about tainted apparel either. And it's just really cool. It kind of is the, you know, the linchpin for everything we're trying to do here. And finally, we have the nomad meme, which I've never played with before, but it seems to also welcome rough living. And it makes it so, you know, we need to travel every now and again, which is perfect for what we're trying to do, because every time we go to raid sites, that counts as traveling. So that should work perfectly. How close are we to getting this done? 13. Wow. 13 research points. It's funny how she decided to go haul instead of researching. Oh, because I put on priority haul. All right, so let's get the rest of these then. We're going to just haul, get all these done. Priority haul, I think it does take precedence over researching. A rattlesnake is something raider. No! Wait. Our cat? Where? What the? All right, that's the snake. Where's our cat? Our cat is here. All right, we have to defend our kitty. The thing about a rattlesnake is if you get bit, you get poisoned. So can you shoot him? What are you going for? Still hunting Raider. Where is Monahan? Monahan's way down here. All right, Raider, you might die. Pull back. I don't want Chris to YOLO charge because Chris can get poisoned. Is she running? Please run away. I think that shot took a lot out of the rattlesnake. All right, maybe able to save our friend. Shoot him again. There we go. Okay, he's dead. Woo, that was close. All right, we need to get a butcher's bill on some of these creatures here. Simply because the bodies will just straight up rot if we don't. All right, we haven't completed... Wait, who's our builder? I keep forgetting. Tech. Where are you going, bud? He's hauling because everyone's on priority haul. I mean, that's not the worst thing in the world. We do need to get these meals hauled in before it's too late. Grab that one too while you're at it. All right, how much food do we have? 43 meals. That's not everything. I think we only start with 50. This is why I'm a little worried about our food. We still have no events to go out into the world to kill something or steal something. You guys are just chilling? Well, you know, just take your time, I guess. We might have to kill the cat, guys. We can't have the cat eating meals. As rough as it sounds, yeah. Sorry, Persian. Maybe we should have let Raider Raider get killed by the rattlesnake. I think Raider deserves better than that, so we're just gonna go ahead and slaughter Raider. Sorry, Raider. Were you bonded? I don't think we were bonded. Okay, so that's good, right? I'm not seeing it here. Wait, hang on. All right, so this is silly. Monahan rebuffed Tech, and Tech rebuffed Monahan. Like, if you guys are into each other, just get together already, for Christ's sake. What else are we working on here? All right, so Tech finished. What are you doing, bud? Hauling steel. All right, so Tech is going to finish building this wind power generator. I know he's not the best builder. He's at 5.06, but I think he's got double passion for it, right? Yeah. So he'll gain skill really, really quick. All right, we should get some of this steel hauled in, so we're not going so far for it. But it doesn't seem to be a problem right now because there's nothing on this site. All right. Ah, he botched it. Oh, that sucks. Come on, Tech. You got it, buddy. All right. So that's up. We're researching. He's going to deconstruct the rest of this stuff, give us some resources to build with. Essentially, guys, we're going to be waiting for an event to take place to tell us where there's something we can go ahead and steal. But I did want to have some actual guns by then, because what's cool is we only need a crafting spot. That's it. Crafting spot allows us to build guns with components. All right, so Chris, are you a night owl, buddy? Is that why you were sleeping? Why were you sleeping just now? He was sleeping, everyone else was awake. That's weird. All right, we're getting debuffed here. Wait, we ate human meat? Oh, these must have had human meat in there. Yeah, human meat. That's pretty awesome. All right, guys, you can see we're getting debuffed here by not having junk around us. This is a pretty... Wait, is this junk? Does this count as junk? I think it might. Maybe we shouldn't deconstruct everything. All right, so something like this is this marble urn. We're going to uninstall it. This we're going to uninstall. What else do we have around here? Anything else? Like this we can uninstall and move it, which is kind of crazy. Anything else of the sort? Yeah, something like that. Ancient mech drop beacon we can pick up. And essentially, guys, we just want to be around junk, you know? We get good vibes from it. Stuff like this. This old APC we can take and move it close. This Walker foot also counts as junk. I think even this tank trap counts as junk. So we're just going to uninstall a lot of this, move it over into our base. We're not making any marble blocks. Who's our crafter? Tech. Tech is also our constructor. Yeah, this is bad. The beginning is always tough. You have limited resources, limited personnel. You know, you gotta deal with what you got. Chris is just wandering. There's no work for you to do, buddy. What do you do again? You can't haul. What if we made you our researcher? And we took her off of researching. All right, you do that. You know, you don't really have a lot of passion for it, which means you're not going to gain a lot of experience for it very quickly. We need defenses. I know. We need to build walls first, guys. Can we get some walls? All right, now we can haul, oops, now we can haul those in. Yeah, I'm worried we're going to just die from starvation. Wait a minute. What do you got on you? Empty your pockets. Here. She got some pemmican. That's about it. Wait, what? Oh, she has the... As usual, products flying up shelves. She has the trader meme. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I respect it. I respect your hustle. All right, so this is not just good enough to be in our storage. We need to actually install these around our base to get the benefit. So, yeah, go ahead and install that. That should help us. So let's see what his needs are now. No junk. There's junk all around this guy. All right, let's get some more. Let's get this old pipe section. Where is she now, Monahan? She's uninstalling an APC. I love that. This is massive, guys. Where are we going to put this thing? Probably here. All right, so now that we've butchered stuff, we should probably cook some meals out of it. Yeah, stuff's not going to last too long, guys. Let's see. Who's our cook? All right, Chris, I need you to cook, but sorry, I know you're doing stuff. We're gonna forbid these for now, so we eat the meals first because these things last forever. We should think about refrigeration sooner rather than later because we're in the desert. Chris, I need you to cook, bud. Yeah. Oh, there's no power. Ah, that sucks. Oh, Ancient Danger. Where is she? I think it was down here. Is it here? There's one over here as well, I think. Am I imagining that? I think I'm imagining that. Okay, this is the Ancient Danger right there. Cool, cool, cool. We need... we have no wind power. This sucks so hard. All right, we can't put this here, obviously. What's this? War Spider Remains? Wow, this thing's massive. That goes there. Maybe we shouldn't put it there. All right, let's cancel that. I think it has to be, like, within a certain radius to count as being surrounded by junk. Now, what else did we uninstall here? We got quite a few things. An APC. Here's another one. Oh, this is the same one from before? Yeah, I think we just canceled it. All right, let's put that APC here. Now, we did have an engine block. What happened to that? You see what happened to the engine block? I don't. We're just going to have to search for it later. There was some more stuff down here. We didn't get this urn. Please get this urn. We need it. And this one, too. Do we have any power yet? We have no power. This food is going to spoil. 19 hours, 15 hours. Yeah, eat that, Monahan. Chris? Wait, who's this guy? Who's this guy? Same person from before? Pulled out a gun just now, so I'm not... What are you doing here? We can trade with you? Alright, Monahan, where are you going? He's probably uninstalling more stuff. We got the ancient macro engine block. Okay. Can you trade with this person? Alright, we have food, but so does she. We're not going to pay you $30 for it, though. That's crazy. And an auto pistol. Right, we can't just buy our stuff that we need, so... Yeah, she got a tech print and reinforced barrels? We cannot buy it. How do you feel now? No junk? What? What's the temp in the desert? What are we dealing with? 72 degrees? It's not bad. Maybe we should build a campfire. Instead of being in the darkness. Engine block. Install that here. No junk, still. She's not getting the no junk debuff. But these guys are for some reason. I don't know. We still have no power. Please give me power. I don't know why I didn't buy those 3 survival meals. Like, that could be the difference between life and death. Am I that arrogant? You know what? It's also because we can't buy everything. We're going to have to raid people for our food, man. That's the whole point. All right, she's leaving. We have some power, dude. Can you cook? Come on. Do we have any, like... Yeah, we have cactuses we can cut down. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to cut down literally every cactus and Saguro tree in the entire area. Oh, no. Where? Okay, we don't want to do that. I want to do that. We don't need any anima screams. Dude still can't cook. How much time do we have left on the meat? 3 hours. It's going to go to... Come on, man. This was ridiculous. Can we get... There we go. Can we cook? Come on. Quick. Don't let that spoil. Yeah, there we go. Come on, hang in there. Wait, we got visitors? Another one? Yeah, 2 more. Can we finish cooking is the question. Suddenly we have power. All right, yeah, we lost 2 meat, but that could have been way worse. Holy crap. Good timing, guys. All right, we can expand this a bit more since we deconstructed a few things. Now, are we getting debuffed? Is everyone getting debuffed? No, for some reason it's just tech. Why is he getting the no junk debuff? Like, we have junk. There's junk here, there's junk here. Is that junk? Does that count as junk? I'm not sure. We've got engine blocks. We've got APCs. We've got Walker Spider War Remains, whatever the hell they're called. Can you talk to this guy, Monahan? See what she's got going on? Ancient mech. That's for the mechanator. We're not doing that now. I know we can't buy stuff. I'm just taking a look. Herbal medicine we could use. And some pemmican we could use. Not bad prices for that pemmican. All right, we can't really progress here. We're kind of stuck, spinning our wheels. Now, let's see. Tech. What is tech doing? Repairing the wall. Can you, can you work on some stones, please, Tech? Thank you. Where's Monahan? What's she doing? She's hauling more stuff. All right, let's get this stuff installed. I mean, we may not end up keeping it there, but we need to get Tech's debuff gone. He's still got this minus 15. That's nuts. Oh, there it is. It's gone now. I think it refreshes every however many hours. I'm not exactly sure. All right, now that we have marble blocks, we're going to go ahead and start building some walls. How big of an area do we want? I want it big enough to encompass this. So let's just drag it up here. We're going to have to move some of our stuff back, it seems. Yeah, we've got more than enough marble to build our walls pretty big. Let's just deconstruct that. We're going to move a lot of this stuff indoors. And speaking of doors, probably put one more here. Come on. There we go. All right. Make some more stones. She's playing hoopstone. Can we clean the puke, please? Can you clean, Monahan? No? You don't clean? Wait, do you clean? Yeah, you can clean. I guess it's not home zone. That's why she's not doing it. That's home zone. Now you can clean it. Yeah, it's gross. Stop playing right next to the vomit. All right, we got no power. We're going to have to figure out how we're going to do this. Obviously, we need batteries. But we're not going to be... Ouch. We got to research a lot of stuff, guys. We don't have the best researchers. Monahan, what is she doing? Like, Monahan, if you're not going to be... She's hauling a lot of stuff. I think we have enough, so maybe we should switch her over to researching again. Okay, let her do that. Tech's going to be cutting some stones, filling in some of the holes in the walls. We should be looking into rebuilding this floor because the sand is probably not helping the beauty. Let's see. We have a beauty overlay. Where is it? There we go. Yeah, we're getting some -4s. Ouch. Well, this urn is helping, though, right? So is this column. I wonder, is junk in general beautiful? I mean, it's to us because it's part of our religion, but yeah, sand and like dirt. My God, it's a lot of minus beauty there. All right, what's going on, Chris? Going for a walk. Okay, that's cool, I guess. I feel like we're progressing very slowly. We're waiting for some world events to really get the game started. I'm not exactly sure how long it's going to take for us to get our first one, but we're going to hang in there. I think the one good thing about this map so far is we've got no hostile wildlife besides the rattlesnake and the lion we killed earlier. So we're looking pretty good. We can kind of just wander around with impunity. Okay, here we go. So our settlement is going to be, our tribe is going to be called the Scavvers. And our settlement is simply going to be called Junktown. There we go. I didn't think it would be a lot of this sitting around, you know, waiting for some of the worksite events to pop. But yeah, that seems like what we're going to be doing until we can get some things researched. Ostrich has self-tamed. We don't want that, so we're going to auto-slaughter that guy. Or rather, insta-slaughter that guy. More junk. Yeah, I think we're going overboard with the junk now. We got more of this. More of that, more of this. Okay. What does Chris do besides sleep all day? He's a good meleeer, so we'll give him that. He's hauling more stuff. Okay, I think that's enough for now. Let's put that there. Now we got to do a weird balance of, you know, having junk around and, you know, having space to build our base. We're gonna want to run some power cables through here, not just that one. For some light, because I think we're going to be able to build a roof soon. Let's get some light fixtures built. Normally, I would be worried about building these too early, but since there's hardly any rain in the desert, we should be fine. I do want to put down steel floors. Now, we've got a fair amount of steel, but I think there's much more that we can bring in. Also, who's in charge of cutting plants? That's going to be Tech. Tech is a very busy guy. Yeah, I think this just has no power connection. Let's just run one right down the middle of the base here. Chris is cutting up meat and cooking. I'm not sure if we're risking food poisoning by cooking here on the sand. I think if there's no floor, the chances of getting food poisoning, I think they roll a bit differently. I'm not exactly sure, but we're going to find out. All right, Monahan is still bringing in old stuff. I think we're good, Monahan. All right, so that's all our walls, right? Yeah, we can start building roofs now. What else do we need here? I think we want to take some time to build a floor. Concrete. All right, let's get that concrete floor down. It's not the prettiest, but hey, it's very practical. That shouldn't take very long at all. All right, now we're going to start deconstructing, I guess, after we get the floors down. All right. We're still a ways off from our makeshift weapons, guys. We still need to build batteries as well. I think this video's been going on for quite a while, and I think we should take a break here. We're going to get part 2 up on the channel very soon, so stay tuned, guys. As always, thanks for watching, and as Tech finishes building the floor, I'll see you next time.